The slap echoed through the bustling diner like a gunshot, sharp and unforgiving. Martha Reynolds, an 81-year-old veteran with medals pinned to her faded jacket, reeled back in her booth, her wrinkled hand flying to her cheek as the young thug sneered down at her. "Stay out of my business, old hag," he growled, his voice cutting through the chatter of plates and coffee cups, leaving the room in stunned silence. Finley Reynolds froze at the entrance, her heart slamming against her ribs as she watched the scene unfold. She had just pulled up in her beat-up truck, intending to grab a quick lunch before heading back to work, but now everything shifted. That was her mother, being assaulted in broad daylight, and no one was moving. Rage boiled up inside her, a familiar fire she had tamped down for years under layers of secrets and self-doubt. Why now? Why here, in this small-town diner in rural Ohio where everyone knew everyone else's history? She pushed through the door, her boots thudding on the linoleum, her mind racing with questions she wasn't ready to answer. "Get your hands off her," Finley barked, her voice steady despite the tremor in her chest. The thug turned, his eyes narrowing at the tall woman with cropped hair and a mechanic's grease-stained overalls striding toward him. He laughed, a mocking bark that made Finley's fists clench. "Mind your own, lady. This ain't your fight." But it was. It always had been. Finley glanced at Martha, who was rubbing her cheek, her eyes wide with a mix of shock and recognition. "Finley? What are you doing here?" Martha whispered, her voice frail but laced with something deeper. Disappointment, maybe, or fear. Finley ignored the question, grabbing the thug's arm and yanking him back. He swung at her, but she dodged, years of manual labor making her quicker than he expected. The diner erupted then, patrons shouting, someone calling the cops, but Finley's focus narrowed to the man before her. He was just a punk, probably high on something, but in that moment he represented every bully, every judgment she'd faced. As she pinned him against the counter, her mind flashed to Journey, waiting back at their apartment, oblivious to this chaos. What would she think if she saw Finley like this, unleashing the anger she'd promised to bury? The police arrived minutes later, sirens blaring outside the plate glass windows. They hauled the thug away in cuffs, his curses fading as they dragged him out. Finley knelt beside Martha, her mother's face pale under the fluorescent lights. "Are you okay, Mom?" she asked, the word mom feeling foreign after years of estrangement. Martha nodded slowly, but her eyes searched Finley's face as if seeing a ghost. "Why did you come back? After all this time?" The question hung heavy, pulling at the threads of their fractured relationship. Finley helped Martha to her feet, guiding her to a quieter booth as the diner slowly returned to normal. Whispers followed them, small-town gossip already spinning tales. She could feel the stares, the judgments she'd fled from a decade ago. Back then, at 18, she'd left home after her father discovered her with a girl from school, his rage echoing louder than any slap. "No daughter of mine," he'd thundered. And Martha had stood silent, her silence a betrayal that cut deeper than words. Finley had packed her bags that night, vowing never to return, building a life in the city where she could be herself without apology. But life had a way of circling back. Finley thought about Journey, the woman who had pulled her from the brink of isolation. They met at a support group for LGBTQ veterans 2 years ago. Journey, with her soft smiles and unyielding strength, a therapist who saw through Finley's walls. Their relationship had been a quiet revolution, built on late-night talks and shared dreams, but always shadowed by Finley's unresolved past. "You need to face it," Journey had urged just last week, her hand on Finley's, "or it'll eat you alive." Finley had brushed it off, but now, sitting across from Martha, she wondered if Journey was right. As they waited for the paramedics to check Martha over, the older woman reached across the table, her hand trembling. "I didn't expect to see you. Not after everything." Finley swallowed hard, the weight of unspoken words pressing down. Everything, that one word encompassed so much. The arguments, the disownment, the years of no contact. "I wasn't planning on it," Finley admitted, her voice low. "But I couldn't just drive by." Inside, her thoughts churned. Was this forgiveness? Or just obligation? She pictured Journey's face, the way she'd encourage her to open up, but vulnerability terrified Finley more than any fight. The paramedics arrived, their efficient questions pulling Finley from her reverie. Martha insisted she was fine, but Finley saw the bruise blooming on her cheek, a purple reminder of fragility. As they wrapped up, Martha turned to her. Come home, Finley. Just for tonight. Your father's gone, heart attack last year. It's just me now. The invitation hit like another slap. Home. The place where her identity had been weaponized against her? Yet, refusing felt like another abandonment. Finley's phone buzzed, Journey probably wondering where she was. She silenced it, her decision forming in the chaos of her mind. Okay, she said finally. But just for tonight. Driving Martha back to the old farmhouse on the outskirts of town, Finley gripped the wheel tightly, her knuckles white. The landscape blurred. Fields she once ran through as a kid, now symbols of a life she rejected. Martha sat quietly, but Finley could sense the questions bubbling. Why did you leave like that? Martha asked softly as they pulled up the gravel drive. Finley parked, staring at the weathered porch. You know why, Mom? Dad found out about me. About who I am. The words hung in the air, raw and unfiltered. Ma to sight. He was from a different time. But I should have said something. Inside the house, little had changed. The same floral wallpaper, the same creaky floors. Finley helped Martha settle into her armchair, fetching ice for her cheek. As she moved through the familiar rooms, memories flooded back. Sneaking kisses with that girl in the barn. The thrill mixed with terror of discovery. Now at 32, she was out and proud in the city, but here, she felt like that scared teenager again. Her phone buzzed again, Journey. This time she answered. Hey babe. I'm with my mom. Long story. Journey's voice was warm, concerned. You okay? Want me to come? Finley hesitated. Bringing Journey here would force everything into the open. Not yet, she said. But soon. That night, as Martha slept, Finley paced the living room. Her mind a storm of conflict. Why had she agreed to stay? Was it guilt, or a genuine desire to mend what was broken? She thought of the thug's slap, how it mirrored the emotional blows her family had dealt her. Society's prejudices had seeped into her home, turning love into shame. But people change, or do they? Finley sank onto the couch, exhaustion pulling at her. Tomorrow she'd decide. For now, the weight of her choices pressed heavy, each one a step toward unknown consequences. Morning light filtered through the lace curtains, casting patterns on the worn rug as Finley brewed coffee in the kitchen. The aroma filled the air, a small comfort amid the tension knotting her stomach. Martha shuffled in, her bruise darker now, a stark reminder of yesterday's violence. Slept okay? Finley asked, handing her a mug. Martha nodded, sitting at the table. Better than expected. Thank you for staying. The words were simple, but they carried the weight of years unspoken. As they sipped in silence, Finley's thoughts drifted to Journey. She had texted late last night, explaining the bare bones. The assault, the unexpected reunion. Journey's reply had been supportive. I'm here when you're ready. But Finley sensed the undercurrent of worry. Their relationship was solid, built on trust. Yet Finley's family history loomed like a shadow. Journey came from an accepting family, her coming out a non-event compared to Finley's trauma. You don't have to hide anymore, Journey often said, but hiding had become Finley's armor. Martha broke the quiet. Tell me about your life now, Finley. What do you do? Finley leaned against the counter, choosing her words carefully. I'm a mechanic in Cleveland. Fix cars, mostly imports. It's steady work. She omitted the part about the garage being LGBTQ friendly, a safe space where she could be open. Martha's eyes softened. Sounds good. And anyone special? The question landed like a bomb, detonating old fears. Finley froze, her mind racing. Admit it. Or deflect. The truth clawed at her, demanding release. Yeah, Finley said finally, her voice steady. Her name's Journey. We've been together 2 years. Martha's mug paused midair, her expression shifting from curiosity to something unreadable. Shock? Disapproval? Her. Martha echoed, the word hanging. Finley nodded, bracing for impact. This was the moment she dreaded. The confrontation that had driven her away. Inside, her thoughts tumbled. Why does it still hurt? Why can't she just accept me? But Martha surprised her. Tell me about her, she said softly, setting down her mug. Finley hesitated, then pulled out her phone, showing a photo. Her and Journey at a pride parade. Arms linked, smiles wide. She's a therapist. Helps people like me, veterans dealing with stuff. Martha studied the image, her fingers tracing the screen. She's pretty. You look happy. The words were tentative, but genuine. Finley felt a crack in her defenses. I am. But it's not always easy. People judge. Martha looked up. Like your father did. It wasn't a question. Finley nodded. Yeah. And you didn't stop him. The accusation slipped out, sharper than intended. Martha winced, her eyes filling. I was scared, Finley. Scared of losing him, of what the town would say. Church neighbors, they all thought it was wrong. Finley paced, anger surging. And what about losing me? Did that matter? The room thickened with tension, years of resentment boiling over. Martha stood, her voice trembling. It did. Every day. But I was weak. I regret it more than anything. Finley stopped, seeing the pain in her mother's eyes real raw. Was this redemption? Or too little too late? Before she could respond, the doorbell rang. Finley opened it to find Sheriff Harlan, a burly man she'd known since childhood. Morning, Finley. Heard about the ruckus yesterday. Need your statement. As they sat at the table, Harlan eyed Martha's bruise. That punk's in custody. Says he was arguing with you over some veteran benefits scam he's running. Martha shook her head. He approached me, said he could get me more money. I told him no, and he lost it. Finley frowned. A scam? Targeting vets? Harlan nodded. Yeah, he's part of a ring. Your mom's not the first. The revelation twisted Finley's gut. Her mother, a proud veteran, preyed upon in her vulnerability. It fueled her protective instincts, but also highlighted Martha's isolation. After Harlan left, Finley turned to her. Why didn't you call me? Or anyone? Martha shrugged. Pride, I guess. Didn't want to burden you. Finley sighed, the irony bitter. All these years, pride had kept them apart. Now it was drawing them into conflict again. That afternoon, Finley drove into town for groceries, her mind churning. The familiar streets stirred memories. High school crushes hidden in shadows, whispers behind her back. At the store, she ran into old acquaintance Lisa, who hugged her tightly. Finley. Heard you're back. And about your mom, awful. Small talk turned probing. You seeing anyone? Finley tensed. Yeah, a woman named Journey. Lisa's smile faltered slightly, then recovered. Oh, that's nice. Times are changing, huh? The subtle judgment stung. A reminder of societal pressures that hadn't fully evolved. Back home, Finley found Martha on the phone, her voice raised. No, I won't sign anything. She hung up, frustrated. That was from the scam group. They won't stop. Finley's alarm spiked. We need to report this. But Martha hesitated. It's embarrassing. What will people think? Finley exploded. Who cares? This is serious. The argument escalated, echoing old patterns. Finley's assertiveness clashing with Martha's reticence. In her mind, Finley questioned. Am I pushing too hard? Or is this the wake-up she needs? As evening fell, Finley called Journey, needing her anchor. It's intense here, she confessed. Mom's opening up, but it's messy. Journey listened, then said, Bring me there. Let's face it together. Finley paused, the idea terrifying yet tempting. Inviting Journey meant exposing their love to scrutiny, risking rejection. But hiding felt like betrayal. To Journey, to herself. Okay, she agreed. Come tomorrow. Hanging up, Finley felt the weight of her choice. This could heal or destroy. What price was she willing to pay? That night, sleep evaded her. Thoughts of betrayal swirled. Her father's, Martha's silence, her own years of distance. Society's lens had warped their family, turning difference into division. But change required risk. Finley stared at the ceiling, resolve hardening. Tomorrow would bring confrontation. And perhaps transformation. Journey arrived the next morning, her compact car crunching over the gravel as Finley waited on the porch, nerves twisting like vines. She stepped out, her dark curls catching the sun, and pulled Finley into a hug. I've got you, she whispered, her presence a balm. Finley held on longer than usual, drawing strength. Thanks for coming. This might get ugly. Journey smiled. We've handled worse. Inside, Martha greeted them politely, but her eyes darted between the two women, assessing. You must be Journey. Coffee. As they sat, tension simmered. Finley broke the ice. Mom, Journey's my partner. We're serious. Martha nodded slowly. I see that. But her tone held reservation, stirring Finley's inner turmoil. Why can't it be easy? Why must love be a battleground? Conversation flowed tentatively. Journey sharing about her work, Martha recounting war stories. But undercurrents pulled. When Journey mentioned a pride event, Martha stiffened. I've seen changes on TV. But in church they say. She trailed off. Finley intervened. Say what, Mom? That it's sin. The words ignited. Martha's face hardened. Your father believed that. I am trying, Finley. Journey squeezed Finley's hand under the table, a silent plea for patience. The scam calls persisted, escalating the stress. That afternoon, another rang, threatening this time. Pay up or else, the voice snarled. Martha paled. Finley grabbed the phone. Back off, or I'll involve the feds. Hanging up, she turned to Martha. We can't ignore this. Journey suggested reporting it fully, offering to help with statements. But Martha resisted. It's my mess. Finley snapped. It's ours now. The clash revealed deeper rifts. Martha's independence versus Finley's protectiveness, amplified by their past. As they argued, Journey mediated. Martha, Finley's scared for you. Like you were for her once. Martha's eyes welled. I failed her then. The admission cracked the facade. Finley softened. You did. But we can fix it. For the first time, vulnerability bridged them. Yet, doubt lingered in Finley's mind. Is forgiveness possible? Or am I setting us up for more hurt? Town gossip reached them via a neighbor's visit. Heard about the fight at the diner. Mrs. Klein said, eyes probing. And now company? Her gaze on Journey implied questions. Finley bristled. This is my girlfriend. Mrs. Klein's smile tightened. Oh. Well, bless your heart. The southern-tinged condescension fueled Finley's rage. After she left, Finley vented. See? This town's poison. Journey hugged her. Not everyone. But yet it's tough. That evening, a knock brought Sheriff Harlan again. Got leads on the scam ring. Need Martha to identify photos. As they pored over images, one face jumped out, a distant relative, Cousin Ray. Martha gasped. He wouldn't. But evidence mounted. Betrayal stung deep. Family, Martha murmured. Finley thought. Even blood can turn toxic. The revelation forced a decision. Confront Ray or let authorities handle it. Finley pushed for confrontation. He targeted you because you're vulnerable. Martha agreed reluctantly, the choice weighing heavy. They drove to Ray's trailer on the town's edge, tension thick. Ray opened the door smirking. Aunt Martha? What brings you? Finley stepped forward. Cut the crap. We know about the scam. Ray's face darkened. Mind your business, Dyke. The slur hit like a punch, igniting Finley's fury. She lunged. But Journey held her back. Not worth it. Martha confronted him. How could you? After all I've done for this family. Ray laughed. Times are hard. Vets like you got plenty. The callousness shattered Martha's illusions. Back home, Martha broke down. My own kin. Finley comforted her. But inside she seethed. Society's greed preyed on the weak, mirroring how prejudices preyed on her identity. Journey suggested therapy for Martha. Healing starts with talking. Martha resisted at first. Old dogs knew tricks, but agreed. The decision marked a shift, but Finley wondered. Can we truly change, or are we doomed to repeat mistakes? Night brought introspection. Finley and Journey lay in the guest room, whispering. This is hard, Finley admitted. Seeing her struggle. Journey stroked her hair. You're strong for facing it. But Finley doubted. Am I? Or am I just prolonging the pain? Dreams haunted her. Father's rage, mother's silence, now Ray's betrayal. Waking, she resolved to push forward. The next day they met with Harlan to file charges against Ray. As Martha signed, her hand shook. This feels like betrayal. Finley nodded. It is. But necessary. The act was a turning point, forcing Martha to confront her naivety. Yet as they left the station, stares followed, whispers about that lesbian couple with the old vet. Societal judgment pressed, testing their bond. Back at the house, Martha turned to Journey. Thank you for being here. For her. Journey smiled. For all of us. The moment warmed Finley, but conflict brewed. An old friend called Martha, warning about unnatural influences. Martha hung up, conflicted. Church friends. They don't understand. Finley exploded. Then make them. The argument peaked, emotions raw. In her mind, Finley questioned, is acceptance worth the fight? Or should I walk away again? Resolution came slowly. Martha apologized. I'm learning. Give me time. Finley nodded, the price of patience steep but necessary. As day ended, the trio sat on the porch, silence companionable. But Finley knew high tide approached, deeper revelations loomed. Weeks blurred as the scam investigation deepened, pulling the women into a web of legal meetings and emotional upheavals. Finley took time off work, committing to stay until resolution, her decision a silent vow. Journey commuted weekends, her support unwavering, but the strain showed. Missed sessions, weary eyes. We need this, Finley told her during a quiet moment. Journey nodded. But at what cost? The question echoed Finley's fears. Was reconciliation worth the toll? Martha's health faltered under stress, her bruise healed but spirit bruised. Doctor visits revealed high blood pressure, a physical manifestation of inner turmoil. You need rest, the doc said. But rest eluded them. Ray's arrest made headlines, local paper dubbing it family fraud. Shame cloaked Martha. What have I become? She whispered one night. Finley held her. A victim. Not your fault. But inside, Finley raged at the system that allowed such exploitation, paralleling how it marginalized her community. Church became a battleground. Martha's pastor visited, concern masking judgment. We've missed you, he said, eyes on Finley and Journey. And your friends. The implication irked. Finley challenged. Partners. And we're welcome. The pastor hedged. God's love is for all but scripture. Martha interrupted. Enough. They're family. The defense stunned Finley, a small victory but costly. Friends distanced, leaving Martha isolated. Worth it? Finley asked later. Martha nodded. For you, yes. Betrayal deepened when old letters surfaced, father's correspondence decrying Finley's lifestyle. Martha had kept them, a secret hoard. Discovering them, Finley felt gutted. You knew how he felt. Why save this poison? Martha cried. Memories. Good and bad. The confrontation peaked in shouts, years of pain unleashed. Journey mediated again. Burn them. Move on. They did, flames consuming paper in the backyard pit. Symbolic, but the ashes lingered in Finley's soul. Can we erase hurt, or just bury it? Societal pressure mounted. A town hall meeting on veteran scams turned ugly when Ray's accomplices targeted Martha online. Anonymous threats laced with homophobia. Old vet with dyke daughter, disgrace. Finley read them, fury boiling. We fight back. They reported, but damage done. Journey worried. This could escalate. Finley pondered. Protect by leaving? Or stay and defy? The choice tore at her. A pivotal moment came at a family gathering, distant relatives for a cousin's wedding. Martha insisted on attending, with Finley and Journey. Show we're united. At the venue, stares abounded. Aunt Clara pulled Martha aside. This relationship. It's not right. Martha stood firm. It's love. Finley overheard, pride swelling. But later, Clara confronted her. You're confusing her in her old age. Finley retorted. No, you're the confusion with your hate. The exchange divided the family, alliances shifting. Driving home, silence reigned. Journey broke it. Proud of you both. But Finley doubted. Did we win or just deepen divides? That night, Martha shared a story, her own unrequited crush on a female comrade in the war. Never acted. Too scared. The revelation floored Finley. You? Martha nodded. Hypocrite, huh? feared what I felt. Empathy flooded Finley. Her mother's silence wasn't malice, but mirrored fear. We all pay prices, Martha said. Finley thought. Understanding comes late, but better than never. The scam trial loomed, Ray pleading not guilty. Martha testified, voice strong despite tremors. Finley watched, admiring her resilience. But cross-examination twisted, defense implying Martha's unstable family clouded judgment. With her daughter's alternative lifestyle. Objection sustained, but words wounded. Outside court, Finley vented to Journey. They weaponize us. Journey hugged her. We endure. The cost, emotional exhaustion, testing their bond. Post-trial, Ray convicted, justice served. But victory hollow. Martha aged visibly, the ordeal etching lines. Finley questioned her role. Savior or catalyst for pain? Journey urged. You've given her purpose. Yet Finley felt the burden, sacrificing her life for this. A final confrontation brewed. Martha's church group demanded she choose. Them or Finley. Can't have both. Martha agonized. They've been my community. Finley pleaded. But we're family. The decision tore Martha. Loyalty versus love. In the end she chose family. Goodbye, she told them. The loss grieved her, but freed her. Finley marveled. Change demands sacrifice. As they packed to leave, Finley and Journey heading back, Martha joining for a visit, the house felt lighter. But Finley pondered the journey. Conflicts resolved, but scars remained. What price for authenticity? Back in Cleveland, the apartment felt like sanctuary, but shadows of the past lingered. Martha settled into the guest room, her presence a tentative bridge. City life's fast, she remarked, watching traffic from the window. Finley nodded. You'll adjust. But adjustment came slow, fraught with moments of friction. Martha's habits clashed with their routine, early bedtimes interrupting late talks. Journey adapted gracefully, but Finley chafed. Inside, is this permanent? Can we coexist? Social integration tested them. Introducing Martha to friends at a barbecue, Finley braced. This is my mom. Smiles greeted, but questions arose. Heard about the scam tough. Martha shared modestly, earning respect. But when a friend mentioned marriage equality, Martha hesitated. It's new to me. Finley tensed, but Journey steered. We're all learning. The evening ended well, but Finley reflected. Progress incremental, patience exhaustive. Deeper conflicts surfaced. Martha joined a senior group, but confided discomfort with diverse members. A transgender person. Confusing. Finley explained patiently. They're just people, Mom. The discussion heated. I know, but my upbringing. Excuses wore thin. Finley snapped. Change or don't, but don't hurt others. Martha retreated, hurt. Journey consoled Finley later. She's trying. But Finley doubted. How much compromise before self-erasure? A crisis hit when Martha fell ill, flu turning pneumonia. Hospitalized, she clung to Finley's hand. Don't leave me. Finley stayed, exhaustion mounting. Journey covered shifts, but resentment flickered. This is too much, she admitted one night. Finley froze. You want out? Journey shook her head. No. But balance. The admission forced Finley to confront. Her focus on Martha neglected Journey. Guilt gnawed. Am I repeating patterns, prioritizing family over love? Recovery brought reflection. Martha apologized. I've burdened you. Finley reassured. Family does that. But internally, she weighed costs. Emotional drain, strained relationship. Society's expectations amplified. Lesbian couples often unseen in caregiving narratives. We're breaking molds, Journey said. Finley agreed, but fatigue whispered doubts. High drama peaked at a family reunion call. Relatives disowning Martha for choosing sin. You're dead to us. Martha wept. Finley comforted, rage simmering. Their loss. But the rejection echoed her own past, triggering old wounds. Why does love cost so much? She vented to Journey. Because it's worth fighting for. The support anchored her, but Finley questioned. At what point does fighting break you? Therapy became lifeline. Group sessions for Martha, couples for Finley and Journey. Revelations flowed. Martha admitting suppressed feelings, Finley her abandonment fears. Healing hurt, peeling layers. I betrayed you by silence, Martha confessed. Finley forgave slowly. And I by leaving. The process mended. But scars reminded of prices paid. As months passed, equilibrium formed. Martha found a senior community accepting diversity, thriving. Finley and Journey rekindled intimacy stronger. But reflections lingered. Conflicts had forged them, but at great cost. Lost friends, health scares, emotional tolls. One evening, watching sunset from their balcony, Martha turned to Finley. Was it worth it? All the pain? Finley pondered, then nodded. Yes. We found each other. Journey smiled, hand in hers. The journey, fraught with betrayals, sacrifices, awakenings, had transformed them. Yet as peace settled, a lingering question arose. In a world rife with prejudice, can true acceptance ever come without profound loss? Or is the fight itself the ultimate betrayal of one's peace?